Hello and welcome. Today we are at Legoland Billund and we're about to take a look around the outside of this Legoland park just to see how big it actually is and to get a better understanding of where the different sections are located and placed on the park map. So to the left hand side there, that is your big Lego shop. The blue brick to the right hand side there, that is where you get your Lego wear from. So that is your official Lego clothing store. And then where the trees are, that is a absolutely massive Miniland section. That video is available and it's an hour and a half long. So if you want to see all the bits and pieces that we're going to be walking around and all the individual lands and all the other new bits for 2022, they are available within the Legoland Billund 2022 playlist in much greater detail. Like I said, we are just going to walk around the park now, soak in all the different bits and pieces that are available and just see where the different things are. So we have the eatery just to the right hand side. That is the all you can eat buffet. The thing just in front of it where you had the pizza chap, I never got a chance to go in, but that did look like it was a builder place where you could go in and you can get some bits and pieces done and just chill out as a family, and it had a load of Lego bricks and everything in there. But I didn't manage to look in through the window until I was about to leave. So I literally did this full loop and then the park was about to close. So directly in front there where the green building is, that's new for 2022. That is your Legoland gallery. Again, that's available in its own playlist, just like all the other main sections of the park are as well. So if you really do want to see this in much greater detail once this video finishes, head over to the Legoland Billund 2022 playlist. This video is included in that playlist as well, obviously, and then you can get to see each land in much greater detail. Right now, the yellow building, that is your hot dog eatery. So that is one of the places where you can grab a bite to eat if you need anything. There's loads of those dotted around the park, which you will see. To the left hand side, that is where you have the train. Now to the right hand side is the mini boats. Now that mini boat has tens of thousands of Lego bricks and models and everything on display, and it's boats that you can sit on and go around. So when we come around, I'll speak about that a little bit more. This train's ideal to get on because it gives you a good understanding of where all the different bits and pieces are located within the park. And then you've got the safari ride, so you can see one of the little wagons there just hiding behind the bush, and that again has its own section of models in which you can only see going on that ride. Now you can see the yellow, red and blue boats. They go round the water, so this whole area has been completely refurbed for 2022, and there has been lots and lots of models already added to that section, brand new ones for 2022. And since me filming this video, they've added even more models, so when I go back in October, I'll end up getting back on that ride again. Hopefully they'll have it Halloween themed as well, and we'll be able to spot the new models that they have added. So the models aren't exactly small, they've just added in the London Eye, which looks absolutely enormous, which will be multiple of thousands of Lego bricks, and I think there might be another one that they've just added as well. So like I said, I'll keep you up to date with that as the year progresses and all the videos we put into this playlist. You've got the little frog hoppers, so you've got multiple of the same ride there where the little ones can queue up and they just bounce up and down. And then we've got this cool thing as well. Now this is actually located in a lot of the Lego parks. They have this at Legoland Dubai and Legoland Windsor, and they add that into their castle section. Moving on into the haunted house area, that is a fantastic area where you can go in. It's about a 10-15 minute walk around attraction, and then it has the ride at the end. And then the little building to the left hand side, that is all build bricks. Right inside is what I would class as the spinning spider. Now this is located at Legoland Windsor over the top of their equivalent of the teacups, and the legs move up and down on that one. Now we're moving straight into the pirate section. Now you can go left if you want to, and that'll take you somewhere different, but like I said, we're going to stick basically to the outside of the park, and we can see all the different bits and pieces this way. You've got a lot of places where you can sit down and also grab places to eat within this area of the park. So there's lots of shade, lots of bits where you can just relax, and then everything to the left hand side is basically one big ride. So you've got the big splash battles, which I have managed to film, and people get absolutely soaked and drenched because you can stand on the outside shooting the people on the actual ride, and then they can get you back with their guns, their sort of water guns that they're shooting at you. So prepared to get absolutely drenched on that ride. It's one of those, it's a ride that you would want to do when the weather is scorching hot, so you would dry off very, very quickly, because you will end up getting very, very wet. Now, there are multiple models dotted around this land, so we will pick up one or two of them, but like I said, it's only going to be one or two, because I do try and keep moving at this sort of steady pace for the whole loop of this park. Now, this they had just literally started to do in the morning, coming to the end of the day, and all the tents had already popped up. If anybody had actually experienced this section of the park for either the weekend that it was on for, let everybody know in the comments below, because I'd like to know what that actually was. I don't know what they were planning and doing. It looked like they were making like a little village. They had some food and drink and everything in there, so not 100% sure what that was, but that is normally open as part of the Legoland Park, where again you can just sit down, almost use it as a picnic area. It's just beside the toilet block as well, which is always handy, and there's a really nice waterfall that you can walk behind, and it's a really nice place to get some photo opportunities and things like that. So this whole pirate area is enormous, and there are lots of places, like I said, where you can just sit down, grab a bite to eat, and there's multiple rides, as you can see. So we probably passed maybe 3 or 4 rides to the left hand side, and then as we keep going, we will then go into the Viking River Splash. So again, you can go left now, and then that will take you to where the Dragon roller coaster and everything is, but we're just sticking to the outer edge at the moment. So this Viking River Splash, compared to the one in Windsor, this is probably about 3 times taller. It's got a lot more rides in, and has a big drop as well. So if you are coming over from the UK and you think, oh, I'm not too sure if I want to do this ride because this one might be similar to one in Windsor, it definitely isn't. Get yourself on it and just enjoy yourself. The models and everything on this are actually located within the ride, whereas the one in Windsor, they're actually located on the outside, so you're going to have to get on the ride to see all the models that are obviously in there. Now, we are going to walk up and loop all the way around the outside of the Viking River Splash, which will then take us into the adventure section. That adventure section then links to where the fire brigade bit is, then that links us to the Polar Explorer, and then we loop around for the Lego Movie 2, and then we start walking back up the other way. So there are lots and lots of things still to come. I mean, we're not even 10 minutes into a 40-minute video, and I am walking at quite a decent pace. So if you are with the little ones and you're with your family, or a pushchair and things like that, you are going to need a minimum of a full day just to walk around the actual park itself and get on 1 or 2 of the things, let alone if you want to stop and have a look at the Miniland section. Now, like I said, I've done a detailed video of the Miniland. I was probably in Miniland for about 2 hours, if not longer, filming it, and the actual file upload was just over 1.5 hours long. So the Miniland at this park is absolutely incredible. The detail is amazing everywhere. But if you've noticed how clean Legoland Billund is, and just how many different places you can sit down and relax, and you've got these little quiet pockets of the park as well, where it's just got a really nice atmosphere and feel to it. Now, there's a lot of water just the other side of these trees, loads of models and everything in there. So again, you can, if you had your zoom on your camera and you wanted to take some really nice sort of Lego model photos, this will be the place that you'd want to come down. So there's multiple reasons you can come to obviously the different Legoland parks. If you just want to come for the rides and things, they're suitable for everybody. If you want to have a look at all the models and you appreciate all the Lego bits inside of it, you can spend all day just hunting the models down, because there's loads of models located in the trees and dotted around all the sort of different walkways and things. And you can just enjoy yourself by doing what they're doing, by getting everybody absolutely soaking wet. So we are about to come round one of the rides, which is very, very popular. They've got these located at all of the parks, but each park you come to, it has got a completely different bit of theming. But the water bits were working perfectly. So if you notice, all the little ones are pushing those buttons down, and then yes, the people end up getting splashed as they go shooting round the outside of this ride. Now, if you get this right, because you've got a steering wheel on this ride, you can start in tight, and then you let go of the steering wheel, flip it to the right hand side, then you shoot round, so you can see it's on an arm, and the arm will open up and close. It's definitely worth getting on. There are, I do believe, 2 of these at this park, so the queue will split. They've got one of these at Dubai, and again they've got one of these at Windsor. But be prepared, because if the little sort of cannon blasters on the outside are working, you can get drenched on this as well. You step up, oh, that's actually the exit from the queue line on the way down there, hence why you can't go up those steps. To get up, and this you'll see in a second that we loop round and go. The reason why I'm looking at the fascia of the artwork, and you can see that is the jungle races is what this one's called, is that you then walk up this way. So you can walk up this way and obviously join the actual queue, but it is also another way into the next section of the park. So it's a sort of not like a secret entrance, because obviously everybody knows that it's there, but if you want to get away from the hustle and bustle of where the eateries and things are, which is what we'll take a sort of a better look at in a second, you can just come in and just listen. You can hear that they are ready to go for what is now going to be basically a full-blown race to put the fire out. But they've got all these steps, which is what a lot of people just sit on and then just watch their family members have a little race in a play, and you just jump on the wagon, they go shooting across, and then they put the fire out, which is just nice. It's just a nice simple ride. But even though they do have this ride at every single Legoland, I do believe, and some of them might be slightly different themed, I would say by a mile this is the easiest just to sit down and watch and relax if you need a break for a longer period of time. Because don't forget, obviously you can just sit here while your family members and friends queue up, then get on the ride, and then you've got a really nice easy view of just everything as it goes, and then you can stand up, get closer to the edge and take some photos if you want to, whereas some of the others you will just have to sort of stand and wait around until your family members or friends have finished the ride. So having those steps there, it's quite a handy placement, because you can just sit down and wait, and potentially the queue might be quite long, as you can see now just how long the queue length is. Obviously the actual length of this queue is short, but what I mean is how long the queue line is, and you've got a lot of detail in the queue line as well. So when the ride is very, very busy, you might be waiting for a little while, so it's quite nice that you've got the option just to sit down. And of course you can do what I'm doing now and have a little bit of an explore and have a look at all the models and everything that are dotted around. I've said in lots of videos that there's a lot of hidden details within all the trees and all the plantation and things like that. Now we're moving on into the polar area, so you might recognize this as a older, or maybe depending on when you're watching this, a current Lego theme for all the Arctic sets. Now we just go down and loop straight back up again. This is where you actually have the live penguins, and the actual ride itself is the quickest ride within the park, and then you do get to see the penguins being fed and things from the ride depending on what time you go. And of course you've got all these nice models and everything like that. So we loop all the way around and down. You've got a couple of pay to play games here. You've got another eatery, as you can see. You can have an all you can eat and drink, so this is the second location for an all you can eat. So you've got the one at the top which we passed, which is the pizza, and then you've got this one as well. I need to go in this one and see what models are in here, because I've not gone into this one yet to actually be able to see it, because I've never been at the park when it's at peak time with this actually being open. There's never been enough people at the park for them to have this restaurant open. Now you can see here's the penguins. We can have a quick look, and you can see just them swimming around and having a nice time, and there was a member of staff putting a load more ice down and everything. So it's just really nice to see and soak in and just have a look at them all in there. And this one came up to say hello to the camera and wondering what was going on, so I'll let you soak it in for a sec. And then he got bored because he realised I couldn't actually feed him from where I was. But again, a lot of sit-down places, and then you got a lot of information to the right-hand side with regards to all the information of the different types of penguins. Now, this is currently being built. When this was filmed, I would imagine this now might be open for the 2022 season. This will be a boat racer, but I'm guessing it's going to be some sort of an ice version, where you've got the bins on the outside, and you take them to the top, and then you race them down to the bottom without your boats smashing apart. Now, they have got one or two of these being built. If you've seen the water park video from Dubai, they have one of those there, and it's good fun for all the little ones and the big ones combined, because obviously you can just race each other as a family, and it's just a nice thing to do. You just got to build up the boats, get them to the top and come down. But they've got a lot of detail on this one, so it'll be interesting to see when that is up and running just how popular that one is and how quickly the boats come down. And now we are coming back around, so I don't go all the way down to the bottom. You can go further down on that one, but it is blocked off. You can go further down where, again, you've got more pay-to-play games, you've got more sit-down areas, and you've got like a big toilet block as well. But if you keep going, I would imagine at one point it maybe used to loop, because it looks like there was a night's festival section where you've got like the jousting there, and you've actually got crowds and stuff. So I don't know if they still do that, or if that's now something that they're pulling out. But guys, if you are local, let us know in the comments below what that area further on down the bottom either gets used for, because I know they do put the live music stages there, so obviously they use that for certain shows and things, but what else do they use it for with regards to Lego based activities, and is it only specific times throughout the year that they open that up? Now we're coming in to the Lego Movie 2 section, so you can see the roller coaster on the outside. That is still part of the Polar Explorer. And now we're coming into this amazing colourful land, and again there's one way in, one way out for this section, which is nice. So it means we can just walk straight through this area and then just walk to what I do believe will then be the other end of the Explorer bit, which is where we came in and walked around where all the water was. But this area has a good couple of rides. You've got the Unikitty Disco Drop Tower, so you've got two of those on the left hand side, and then you've got the Emmett's Couch on the right hand side. So this is an area that we do not have at Legoland Windsor. We have Mythica instead, with all sorts of mythical creatures and things. The queue line to the Flying Adventure, that's nice and impressive, because you've got a huge build bin in the middle, and then when the queue starts to progress further on, you've then got a load of different bits and pieces that you can build up on the wall and things. And then, yep, you did see Emmett's spaceship to the left hand side, so there is like a little playground-esque area. But there's Duplo build to the left hand side as well, and then you've got this cool thing just here on the right hand side. That's very, very popular, and it's the same ride as what they have in Germany, but the one in Germany is themed to the Ninjago section, whereas obviously this is the Lego Movie 2. But you can spot the little meet and greet characters, hopefully, so you can see the little princess. I think there might be one or two princesses, and then you've got the, well, I'm not going to spoil the name. Oh, it's Wildstar. I was going to get you to write it in the comments, but you've got Wildstar there, but they're everybody getting their photos taken, which is always really, really nice. And again, you can see the ride just finishing its cycle just on the back. And again, obviously this is based on the Lego Movie 2 more than the Lego Movie, because there's a lot of Duplo invasion characters as well, and obviously in some of the queue lines it says all about the Duplo invasion, so I'm guessing the theming is more based on the Lego Movie 2 than the Lego Movie, but it just says it's the Lego Movie World section. So I'll let you make up your minds on that one, and you can have a sort of an argument and debate in the comments of which film you prefer. Are you more of a Lego Movie fan or a Lego Movie 2? But let us know. And then as we come round, again, all of a sudden the facial and everything changes. So we go from the really, really bright colours to now the castle section. It changes so smoothly and so well. So to the right hand side is the castle, but to the left hand side we are still in the Explorer section, which we will have a quick loop round a little bit better, because there's a lot of eateries and everything in the middle which I don't want you to miss. So we will, like I said, go round and have a look at this a little bit better, and then we'll carry on looking around the outside of absolutely everything. You can see just how big this land actually is, though, with regards to how you've got all the rides, you've got the laser shooters and everything up here. It is a nice area just to come up. You've got the nice eateries and different bits and pieces like that, so it is a good place to come to. It's a very popular part of the park, because it is not only is it large, but it is one of the main focus points with regards to the laser shooter, which again is very, very popular at all of the parks. Now maybe one day, because this is filmed before LegoCon, maybe one day that they now might bring back the adventure theming, because this used to be a very, very popular theme for a couple of years, and it has to be a popular theme because they've got all of this theme in every single Lego hotel as well as every single Legoland park. So it would be interesting to see if they will bring back these characters and these figures and things like that, because these are some of the sets that I actually used to collect back in the day. So they were in the adventure area just here. But we will now go back into Adventureland rather than just walking all the way around the outside and completely missing it, because obviously we came in and we walked down the pirate bit, but on the way back up again we will see a little bit more. But where this bit is actually located and how we've done it, we won't have seen hardly anything of the Adventureland, because when we came in and then went past the Viking River Splash, and then the theme changed to where everybody was sat down and all the little ones were then pushing the buttons to get everybody wet, and then we went up the queue line and saw the fire bit, we missed all of this, because then we went through the Polar Explorer, obviously we've just done it, and then we did the horseshoe of the Lego Movie 2. So this area actually you could miss if you weren't paying attention to where you were on the map and you just basically did it how I did it. You would miss all of this, and there are lots of places that you can sit down, grab a bite to eat and have a drink, and there's a couple of other rides as well. I mean, obviously the big ride that you will see on the track, you're not actually going to be able to miss that, because that will obviously catch your eye. But if you didn't walk in far enough, you would actually end up missing the laser ride and the laser shooter and everything like that. And there's a lot of eateries. I think there's a burger place in here. So this track you can see for ages, but you can see the castle behind it, and then we actually walked on the path just then where the theming changed from the Lego Movie 2 to the castle. That's where we got to, and then we turned left rather than just sort of turning right. Now, if you were to do that and you just wanted to get to the castle bit and you went out of the Lego Movie 2 and just turned right, you would miss all of this if you walk the way I walk. So just be careful, because it is easy enough to miss whole sections of the park, because each area of the park obviously loops in and back out on itself. But how we've done it, we actually can skip this if you wanted to, even though we just brushed over this sort of the outer edge of this land. There are a lot of places where you can eat and drink here, lots of bits where you can see all these little shops and stalls that are closed, and then you've got the pay-to-plays that are currently open. So when the park is in full swing, this will be a big area to grab lots of ice creams from and snacks and things like that. Now, you can see the size of this ride, and then if we just walk past this, we'd actually end up going into the Polar Explorer section. And before we got to that is the fire station ride. So where we rejoined, we actually leapfrogged this area. Now, again, this is available in a different playlist in a much greater detail. We do the whole queue line. The queue line itself is basically the outside of that is the queue, and then the second you get into the inside of it, you're done, and then you just basically jump on the laser shooter. Whereas the one in Windsor, you have an absolute massive queue on the inside. It takes a good while to get on that, so it's a bit deceiving how big a queue it is at Windsor, but at least on that one you can actually see the queue length to what it is. Again, still exploring where we've not yet been before. This is all the eateries and everything from the other side. Now if we turn left, that will be the bit that we had already done. So that is your jungle racer. So that is actually the bit that we walked up, and that was the queue line that we went to. And now we're going to come back around on ourselves. So this bit that we've already done, and then we will come back around on a different way in. So just to see that you can actually come on a completely different way, and then you can fork off left, and then we will just carry on with the tour. But don't forget that these buttons to the right hand side just here are working. Now if you pull them down and push them down, you can get them nice and drenched. Now again, just as a recap, if you look at some people, for some reason they actually keep their boats tucked in, whereas what you want to do is let go of that steering wheel and it will flick it out and right, and then you can pick up some good momentum and speed. But you've got to be careful, because obviously you can see that certain buttons, where I am stood now, the floor's soaking wet, which means you're going to get wet as well. So it does very much depend on the angle of the splash. So obviously the further round we go, the more quieter it's going to get, and you've got loads and loads of tables and chairs and everything just around here to the left and the right hand side. So again, you've got an area there where you could have walked down, which is completely different. You've got the bit to the left, which is where we did come down, and then you've got the right hand side here where we're now going to walk over the bridge and over the water. So this is why I'm having to do this, because we would have just missed all of it. Again, lots of things that you can take photos of. This is what I'm saying, that if you had a camera and you wanted to zoom in and have a look at all the models, easily done. You can easily do that. So you've got all the models to the left, and the ride is directly behind us to the right hand side, so we can, hopefully I'm clever enough to turn around and see that from a different angle. If not, it's because those people actually probably stood on the bridge, so we weren't able to do it, because that is a different viewpoint to see your family members on, because obviously if they're sat down around here having a bite to eat and they keep their eyes peeled, or you drop your partner a text message to say that you're about to get on the ride, you can then literally just take 10 steps and then you've got a perfect viewpoint to look at the rides going around. But again, because of the time of day, it is getting on a little bit, so all these sort of eateries are just, well, sorry, I say eateries, the places where you can sit down and eat and drink, it's just nice and quiet. So we're coming down some of the steps, and then we're going to start getting into a bit more hustle and bustle, so the noise and everything's going to pick back up again, as we're going to start coming back in again. Still in the same area, we're still in this Adventureland area. It's just vast, it's just a big area, lots of either open space, or they've just done really nice stuff with models and everything like that. And then we'll carry on and start getting into the next section of the park shortly, and then we'll start walking back up and having a look at all the other little bits and pieces. But the detail that we're sort of looking at this area now is kind of like what all the other areas are like within the park itself, in the playlist. So I'm walking up. If I carried on going up, we would have actually got to where we came in originally, and then did a big loop around. So you get an idea of there's two areas into this. So if I just walk straight in the first place and then turn left to the Lego Movie 2 section, you still would have missed all of this. So you've actually got two. So if we turn left here, for example, and just walked in a straight line, this now takes us up to the castle, and then this takes us up to the Adventureland sign. So you have got multiple opportunities to miss the Adventureland section. So do be careful when you come into the park, because you could chop corners off without realising it until you got all the way back up to the shop, and then and you've got to walk all the way back down again. So don't make that mistake. But there are nice viewpoints. So again, this is the Viking River Splash. It still goes on. It's a big old area, and you can stand here as a vantage point. That is where we started the video. Look, the Adventureland sign just there. So that is where we started it, where you got the air balloon and things. That is a set that was available. So hopefully they do carry on and make those up. No, coming back out, we're now going to crack on and carry on with the rest of the park. So hopefully I've drilled it into everybody enough. Basically, don't miss the Adventureland section, because it is easily doable. And again, this is the walk down there. That'll be where you can walk down into your Lego Movie 2 section. So if you were to walk down here and then just turn left into your Lego Movie 2, into the Polar Explorer bit, and then went up the staircase and past the fire brigade, you would miss it that way, and again you would miss it if you come down, so just be careful. Now moving on to the pirate bit. Now this is, the castle section. So you've got all the knights and everything here. I really like all the flowers and everything that they've added in, and if you look carefully there will be some models and everything dotted around. The video that I did of this in massive detail came out really, really nicely. Now the actual roller coaster queue line that has multiple rides in, which is really, multiple models in, shall I say, as you're waiting to get on the ride, and I think that came out really, really nice. And then as we come up and round, you've then got a big restaurant area up at the back. You've got loads of different paths and everything. It's all to the left, and then you've got different eateries. But this bit here, if you tuck into this bit, you have a character meet and greet just there. Obviously people get their photo taken, but that is a princess area, and at certain times during the day you can get your photo taken with the princess just down there. So again, there's multiple paths up on that bit. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I just had to do the adventure area just to show you how easier it is to miss that part. And now we're coming back up. You have the Viking River Splash to the left, so we've gone all the way around the outside, then a full loop of the Viking River Splash, and then we're almost by the entrance again for that. Now to the bit to the left hand side, that is the castle stage show. So again, that is a different path that you can walk down, and you can see some different bits and pieces on that. Just happened to catch that coming down, so that's always nice to see. Very, very lucky dip of if you are the person facing backwards, because if you are the person facing backwards, you are going to end up getting wet. So it is lucky dip to how that ride works, depending on how wet you get, basically. So Good luck with that one. Let us know how you get on in the comments below. Now, as we come back in, again, now you can go multiple different ways. If you were to go left again just from here, that would then take you back up to the adventure area. You can carry on going up in a straight line past the well, and then you've got different areas to the right-hand side where you've got the toilet blocks, you've got different places that you can sit down. Again, lots of open space. And if we keep going in a straight line, we'll walk past the castle shop, walk past a couple of the different rides that are on the left hand side. You've got some pay to plays on the right. Really like the fact that you've got some really easy recycling points and the bins as well. And again, you've got some like waffle houses and all sorts of different bits and pieces where you can get some popcorn and just easy grabbable snacks as you're walking around. Now you can see how this is now opening up and it's getting even wider and wider. Still coming, I think we're about to leave the castle section and start entering the pirate section. So we've already gone down the one side of the pirate bit. Now we're coming back up now. So we are now back in the pirate section. To the right hand side, that is the massive ride of the pirate boats. But like I said, that's about an 8 to 10 minute ride. Definitely worth getting on. Really nice sat down chilled ride, loads and loads of Lego models in there. It's just a nice ride to get on because it goes outside and it gets you inside for ages. So if it is pouring down with rain, it's a perfect one to get on with. You will stay dry after sort of the first minute. And then again, you can cut through to the left, which is what we could have done when we first came into the pirate section, and if we did that, we would then be here. So that's why I've done it how I've done it. Hopefully it's making sense. We're about to change theme again, so if you can cast your brain all the way back to the start of the video where we saw the haunted house, if we just walked in a straight line past the haunted house, we would have ended up straight away in this area. So this is their Legorado area, full of Lego models. This is where you've got the log flume, you've got the nice roller coaster, you've got a nice little Lego shop in here, and lots of other different bits and pieces. So this goes on for a good while. It's like a big hub. If you were to do like a big rectangle loop of this, so there is actually 3 ways into this area. We're just going to cut across and then move on to the next bit, and again move on and move on and move on and get our way back up. But you can see we've got the roller coaster of this theme park to the right hand side. The log flume is straight in front. You can see how it all forks off into different areas. You have, I think if I carry on walking, actually we will see another addition for the 2022 season, which will be nice and handy. The log flume's definitely worth getting on. Lots and lots of Lego models to have a look at. And then you've got the Gold Rush area as well, which has got a lot of theming. I think we'll wait, hopefully, to catch somebody come down just to see how wet they get. So there we go. So that is the splash that you get given. It's not horrendous, but I think you get more wet if you sit at the front than you do at the back. Then you can go into the Lego mine. Lots of nice little Lego models to look at. And then where the water's dropping down now, that is actually part of the ride. This is another build boat area, so you can see the area, you can actually see the circumference, shall I say, of this actual new area that they're putting in, and which is the same as the polar area. I think it's going to be exactly the same ride, or should I say the exact same build experience, but the theme is just completely different. So the concept's the same, theme will be completely different. It goes from point A to point B and then you race each other. So it means you've got to do them all because you are going to get a different experience doing it, because the actual course is going to be different. So it's just nice that you can go down there. If it's busy, you can just get on there, build it up, and then move on to the next area and just see what it does. It'd be interesting to see if it's like the Lego house where it does have the time. I don't think that is the case at the one at Legoland Dubai. I think because the one at Legoland Dubai, it's literally very much a case of you plonk it at the top and then he just shoots down to the bottom, and then people just pick him back up again and run to the top, and the current obviously takes it down. Now you can see we're coming to the back end of the haunted house now, so we've just done a quick guide of that. And you can walk up these steps, you go up these steps and it takes you up a completely different way. That then cuts you through and round. There are lots of little younger play area places up and around this way as well, which is really easily missed. I don't think I get them in this video because it's sort of smack in the middle of the park, but you can see you can come up, come back down the ramp, that takes you a different way that way. You can come across and go a completely different way over a bridge if you wanted to come this way, and if you wanted to come out of the Legorado section a different way, that would then take you into the Duplo area. But you've got all these different bits and pieces that you could easily miss and cut through. So you've got this nice little bridge which takes you underneath the train. If you just walk in a straight line from here, that would take you directly to the Lego shop, and it will cut off the whole back end of the park. So just bear in mind, if you were to walk in a straight line, you would then end up missing all of the Duplo, the Ninjago, the 4D cinema, and Brick Street, all of Miniland, and it saves a huge amount of time. So if you are in a rush to get back, or you just wanted to get from the Lego shop from here, that is the way to go, because you would have been there in about a minute and a half, and we've got about 5.5 minutes left of this video until we get back up to where we started by all the flags, because that is obviously where the entrance and everything is. Now, I really like the fascia and everything. I said this in the much more detailed video that I did of this area. I like how this area is much more themed with regards just to how all the fascias are and everything, and with all the little hidden sort of Easter eggs they've got dotted around just the area. The bit in the middle there, that is a really nice sort of gentle ride for the little ones. That's the little horses that you can sit on. Nice easy hot dog place to get to, so that's just where I tend to get like a little hot dog from if I get a chance. Didn't on today. Today was a very long day and a very hungry and thirsty day for me today, but I survived, so it's all okay. Moving on, now this area again splits around left or right, so you can go both different ways depending on which way you want to go. If you go left, what you can do, you can loop it around past the driving school, and then there's a tunnel underneath where it gives you loads of park information. If you carry on going in a straight line, then what we are, you can keep going in a straight line, and then you come to the nice Duplo area, where it's a nice area for the little ones to play in, and they've got a load of little hidey holes and you can do a load of bits and pieces with. Where we're going to go all the way through the Ninjago area and then back up on ourselves back to the entrance. So this area, including all the bits in the middle, I did it at the start of the day with no children there, you can see just how big the area is and how much there is to do, and that is again is all available in much more greater detail. It's either already up in the playlist or it will be uploaded after these videos and basically throughout the 2022 year, as I keep coming back as well as the theming changes. So with the Ninjago area, it is absolutely massive. It goes really far back behind. You've got all the models and all the characters and everything there, and then you've got loads of different things that you can do with the speed and reaction. You've got a nice shop, you've got a laser maze and Ninjago the ride, all in this section. And again, keep saying it, much greater detail if you want to see it. Carry on walking a straight line, you've got the 4D cinema directly in front, and then we pan around to the left hand side, and then on the left hand side will be where the eateries and things are, and also you have a nice little music display piece in the middle, which is what's playing now, and they are things that you can jump on and then just get going. So you can see all the little ones jumping on there in the middle, and then you've got the burger place to the left hand side. That is where you can obviously go in, grab yourself a burger, and on the artwork and everything on the inside of this building, it has all sort of the more famous Lego figures, should we say, and they've signed all the different bits and pieces, and it's very nicely done. It's very clever. Now as we come up, you've got all the candy shop, and you've got the slush paradise as well. So this is now open. You can go in and grab whatever it is you wanted to. That opened up after lunchtime, so that only opens up at a certain time. Then we link into Atlantis. Now Atlantis is a fantastic walk-through attraction full of fish. That is definitely worth getting into. It's a perfect thing to do just after lunch, where you can obviously let your food and everything digest. Now directly to the left, if you notice, there's loads and loads of parents just underneath, hence why I'm now looking up and we're now walking down Brick Street. There's a couple of rides meant for little ones directly behind me, perfect for smaller ones. That's the seating area for the parents. Now we are walking down Brick Street. Now Brick Street, I think, is absolutely amazing, only because the buildings to the right hand side is actually the Lego Park View Room Hotel. I think it's absolutely stunning. So you've got the Legoland Hotel, that is the park entrance to the hotel, and the yellow and bright green areas that you can see, and the one a little bit further up, they are all the rooms that look over the actual theme park to and from the actual hotel, and the hotel then goes and crosses over the road, and then you've got all of the normal themed hotels as well. Now underneath this, you've got the creative workshop there. This is the new Duplo fun area. Massive area on the inside, again made for teeny tiny ones. Really nice area where they can go in and play. That's a really good addition that they've added in for the little ones, because they've obviously, you can see by this tour, adding in more sort of like bin areas to build and have fun and experience with Lego bricks, obviously, because it is a Legoland park. So they're now not just focusing on the ride aspect, they are starting to focus on the actual building experience as well, which is really, really nice. Now guys, I am starting to run out of time, so hopefully you have found this tour useful. But as always, if you can like and subscribe and all that good stuff, that'd be absolutely fantastic. In the comments below, let me know if you've been for the 2022 season, or if you are planning on going before Christmas this year. I've said it loads and loads of times now. Plenty of videos available within this playlist, and they will be carry on uploaded through the 2022 season as we start to make our way back up to the shop. You can see the blue artwork directly in front is the Lego clothing wear, and then to the right hand side that is the main Lego shop as well. And then you can just see the scale of what we've done. We literally walked all the way around the outside of that, skipped loads of bits and pieces in the middle, obviously, otherwise you just have to keep zigzagging and sort of doing big figure of eights all the way around. So it's a lot to take in and a lot to see, and there's obviously a lot of rides as well. It's like the layout of this park. I mean, obviously I've been to lots of the others as well, like Legoland Dubai. It's a very, very clever layout with regards to things and bits and pieces being on the inside. Legoland Windsor, but it obviously used to be on an old zoo. That's obviously a little bit steeper, so some people love it, some people find it a little bit more tiring, whereas this park just flows really, really nicely. And it's just a nice, clean, lovely place to be. So hopefully that's come through clear enough on the video, and hopefully you can just see how neat and tidy this park actually is. But guys, I have completely run out of time. So as always, thank you very much for watching. You guys take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ta-da.